What's going on, folks? Right now, it's the best gamer of all time right now. And right now, we're going to be talking about Payday 3, but we're going to be ranking all the weapons that I have used in this game, all the weapons right here. So everything that you see on the screen is all the weapons that I use. I can actually give a kind of some criticism to it. And, you know, we can actually sit here and talk about it. And especially right now, the skills 2.0 kind of changed these things just a tiny bit. So we're going to actually really dive into that right now. So let's actually get right into it. So with the Car 4, probably the most basic weapon in the game. You know, you get it in Payday 2, of course, and now you get it in Payday 3. Now, here's some things that I want to really mention. I think Car 4 is actually a very, very great weapon when it comes down to long range and mid range. Even when talking about skills 1.0, it was actually still a pretty good weapon. I mean, it had some flaws. And the car in the skills 2.0 is a little bit better, but I still want to bring up that it still has some of the same issues that it always has in Payday 2 and even now in Payday 3. And honestly, just assault rifles in general, which is that Car 4 actually has a hard time, you know, taking out those bulldozers, taking out like even those shield guys. I mean, it's a great weapon, don't get me wrong. It's very great, but I think also, you know, it's very mid. And in my opinion, I think it's going to be a B tier. I think it's just right down there, right down in the middle. Now we're actually moving on to the shotgun right here. So the shotgun, let me tell you folks, skills 2.0 made this shotgun even more powerful because now there's skills in here that really make you a shotgun maniac. Now, due to, like, you know, the police having such high health and you know they're coming at you, you know, with heavy armor, it's always good to have weapons that can actually take them out in kind of one shot. So what does the shotgun do, for example? Well, the shotgun takes them out in one shot. It really knocks them down. Or even if it doesn't take them out in one shot, you can actually just knock them down on the ground and then you just pump them again with a second shot. So for me, I think the shotgun is like really powerful. I mean, it takes out bulldozers pretty well. It takes out, like, you know, the shields pretty well. I mean, it really helps you out drastically. Obviously, you know, you're not using it for far range, not even really mid range. You're going to be using it with those close range, you know, those maps where you're actually you know, holding still on the choke points, and maybe you're helping out your teammates, you know, pick up the bags and they're coming over, or maybe you're transporting the bags and you just, you know, shoot some people and then take them out. For me personally, I think the shotgun is an S tier. I think it's a great weapon. I don't see a reason why anyone wouldn't want to use this weapon. I feel like people would use this weapon if they're getting slowly bored of the game, and then they want to switch to another weapon. The AK. So I think the AK is a very great weapon here. It doesn't do well with long range, but it does pretty well with mid range and close range. It does a little bit more damage than compared to the Car rifle, the Car 4 rifle, excuse me. And this is the AK. I know it's given another name, but it's the AK. It looks like a freaking AK to me. So for that reason, I think it's a very great weapon. It takes out bulldozers a little bit better than the Car 4, like I said. It does more damage. It's very good at mid-range, not that great for long range for me personally. I feel like, you know, I'm missing a few shots here and there. I think the recoil can be a little bit better, but, you know, obviously you can put some attachments on these weapons and you can really change up and actually make it a little bit better, and especially to the skills as well, since there is a lot of skills in the 2.0 that you can actually select and you can actually make the weapon even 10 times better. Now for that reason, I'm actually going to put it in A tier. Now the marksman rifle A144, I think this weapon is super great. You know, even if you didn't even have any type of skills like this, I mean, it's still a great weapon. For me, I mean, you can, back in skills 1.0, I want to say this right now, this was way better, you know, skills 1.0. It did receive a nerf in my eyes, in my experience, with the skills 2.0, because in skills 1.0, I know I'm saying a lot of 1.0 and a 2.0, but in skills 1.0, there was a skill where basically if you weren't aiming down sights, you do more damage. Well, those skills are not in the new skills 2.0. And now you can aim down sights, and for me personally, I think this weapon still does a lot of damage. I think it still can be considered S tier, but for me, I liked it better under the old system than this new system. I feel like, to me personally, it got kind of nerfed a little bit, and for that, I actually am going to put it on A tier. I think it's a good weapon, but I just don't think it is an S tier weapon. Now the sniper rifle. Now this I might be a little bit biased with this one because, you know, I have been playing a lot of Payday 2 and I have played a lot of Payday 3. Now sniper rifles in these type of games are not very useful in my opinion. I mean, compared to the other weapons, is it good? Can you use it? Can you complete a mission? Absolutely, you can complete this mission with the sniper rifle 100%. You know, there are skills in this game that can actually really help you out. It's just that I feel like if we're talking about the lineup of other weapons, why would you be bringing up a sniper rifle? Because a lot of the maps are kind of more close quarters or even mid-range. There isn't really that much with the far range thing. That's why I ranked the AK like a little bit higher than the Car 4, even though the Car 4 has better far range. Is because you're mostly going to be in buildings. You're mostly going to be like somewhere that's actually close quarters or even midway. Like I said, you're mostly going to maybe transporting. The only time you're going to be using the long range would be probably the sniper rifle. Like there's a sniper shooting at you while you're transporting the bags. And that's the one time that you get to shine. You take out those snipers. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But you can use attachments and you can get rid of that scope and maybe treat it much more of a, you know, kind of like the A144 right over here. But then at that point, I would ask you this. Why use, you know, the sniper rifle if you can use the A144 unless you're trying to switch up your playstyle? And for that reason, I think personally, I think it's either a C tier or a D tier, and for that, that's kind of up to you what you guys want to choose. I'm actually going to put it in C tier because there are some attachments, and like I said, there are skills in the skills 2.0 that can make this weapon a little bit more viable, but I don't think it's even mid tier. All right, so the shotgun, the dual, you know, this shotgun right here, I just want to say this shotgun was way better in the skills 1.0. Same thing applies. I mean, ammo funnel was really making this weapon like super good. Basically, like you didn't even need to reload and you were doing drastic a lot of damage. So, you know, I mean, you can leave a comment down below if there are some skills still in here that you can make this shotgun do that. But to my knowledge, as of right now, this shotgun got massively nerfed when it came down to the skills 2.0. Especially now you can just use this shotgun and not this one anymore. I think the shotgun is somewhat decent. You know, it has 2 bullets, do a lot of damage. You're shooting, gotta reload, shooting, gotta reload, and that can be a little bit frustrating and taking out hordes of enemies. I'm actually gonna put it in C tier. I'm also want to mention on the fact too that I am a little bit biased when it comes down to the shotgun, and I want to mention that because there was a freaking cloaker that was coming after me and I was in mid reload stream and this dude had enough time to take me down. So what can I say? I'm a little bit biased with that one, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. The Northwest B9, I think the Northwest B9 isn't, you know, it's a decent weapon. You know, it has a very good close range, it has very good mid range, not as good as long range. The damage is decent. I feel like the damage, if I can remember correctly, the damage is kind of on par with the Car 4. I think it's right in between the AK and the Car 4. Is this weapon really good? That's up for you to decide. For me, I think it's decent. I don't think it's nothing to write home about. I think it still suffers the same things with those weapons that we've been talking about. So I'm actually going to put it right here in the B tier. So the Compact 7 is a submachine gun, and I just want to say this right now. I think submachine guns in this game need a little bit just a better buff in my opinion, but besides that though, we will get into it because there is a submachine gun here that I truly believe is S tier. But the Compact 7 right here, I feel like is that, first of all, I'm always constantly feel like I'm running out of ammo. I feel like it's not really doing that much damage. It's definitely not really killing bulldozers. You're gonna need some assistance to actually take out bulldozers. I feel like it doesn't do very well with those high difficulties. You know, obviously if you're actually playing on a lower difficulty, I think Compact 7 can be great, but honestly, like, since the majority of players actually play on probably the hardest difficulty in the game, because at the end of the day, I'm going to say this right now, I think Payday 3 is a very easy game. You know, obviously you can use any gun here, but there has to be a gun to be put down in the D tier, and I think Compact 7 is in a D tier. And now we're heading over to the next submachine gun, which is the PC9, and let me tell you folks, it has the same problems with the Compact 7. Same thing. These guys are pretty much, you know, brothers. They probably were born, you know, and hatch from the same womb or something. I don't know. Because let me tell you guys right now, one more thing about it is that you're constantly running low on ammo. You're not doing that much damage to enemies. There's other simply better weapons in here. Like, honestly, you can bring in a sniper rifle and it'd be better. You can bring in the shotgun and it would be better. You're not doing those like great damage. And for me, it's just a D tier again. I think that's also a really bad weapon. But the Commando though, is different. Now, it is a submachine gun, but the Commando is very, very great here. And honestly, I think right now, currently, I honestly, besides the shotgun here, I think this Commando is probably the best weapon in the game, really. You know, it does so good CC, a lot of crowd control. It actually does pretty good damage with the bulldozers, and there's skills that really help you out a lot with it. And I'm gonna be honest, I think this weapon, Commando, if you haven't used the Commando, go and try to use it. It's a very, very great weapon. And in my opinion, I'm actually going to put it in S tier. I think it's a very great weapon. But now we get this weapon right here. Now, this assault rifle was super good at launch. Is it good now? No, I don't think it's like really that great. I think it's good at mid-range. I don't even think it's good at close range. It's, you know, compared to the other assault rifles, because like you have other assault rifles that just do better damage. I think this weapon right here really fell down, but then the skills 2.0 came out and it made it a little bit better, but not entirely better. It made it better though, but not really, really well. I think personally it's at B tier as well. I think it's really a mid weapon. I think honestly you can make a case and put it on the C tier. I don't think this weapon is that amazing. But anyways, folks, that is my tier list of all the weapons that I currently have used. And you know, make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure you actually guys tell me what you guys think about this. And if you guys love this type of video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe. And I will make another content video like this, a Payday 3. Anyways, best gamer of all time, signing off.